The new movie, the original movie, how do the clowns compare? I mean, they look entirely different. You can give us some insight on this.
I think the Skarsgård Pennywise is kind of kooky, you know, in the way Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka was different than Gene Wilder's.
That's a good point. Yeah,
you know, there's this kind of juvenile vulnerability in there as well, and playfulness in that one, which in its own right is scary.
Sure.
But, you know, the Tim Curry one is definitely more old world.
Right.
Like, I believe that thing has been around for 500 years.
Exactly. Right.
Because he's, you know, almost vaudevillian, you know, with a lot of his bits, you know, especially in the library.
Right.
You know, his physical comedy is totally vaudevillian, and I'm, you know, that speaks to a clown, a performer.
Yep.
You know, where I didn't get much of that from Skarsgård, but I loved his portrayal anyway.
Right. I like your comparison to Willy Wonka. I think that's pretty accurate from just, you know, some of the clips I've seen of the new movie and how he's more of a quirky and childlike. I think that's a pretty good comparison. So
and it's kind of tilted, you know. Right.
The original Tim Curry's portrayal was so menacing. I mean, that I think the first time he was on screen, right behind the sheets, how he goes from that smile into like that evil look was
absolutely,
it's incredible. I mean, that stayed with me for years.
Me as well. That is, if I had to, you know, pick the scariest moment for me watching the movie, I would say it's behind the sheet. You know, the sheet blows, and he's giggling and smiling and waving, and then, you know, the sheet covers his face and then opens back up again, and he's ready to eat. I mean, that, to me, without the teeth and without the blood and all that stuff, that is just,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It was.
I'm with you there.
So I do not want to let you go before we talk about your time on the classic sitcom The Wonder Years. Doug Porter.
Oh, The Wonder Years. Yeah.
One of my favorite shows, and you were great on it. Now, my question is, when you first got the role on that show, I mean, was that like, were you going to be a series regular at the time, or was it supposed to be like a one-off?
No, I came in on that Coda episode.
Yeah.
And I think I was Doug Baker. I think that's what I was named. So we did that episode, and then a few weeks later, I got a call to audition for, and I thought it must be a mistake, but I got a call to audition for the Walkout episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like student council number 3 or something like that, you know.
Right.
A huge breakout role. And anyway, you know, of course, it had something to do with the snack machines, you know, whatever. Fine. Yeah. I'm over it.
Okay.
And I think maybe a few months after that, I got called to come in and read for another character, Doug Porter.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, wait a second. I was already a Doug.
Yeah.
Why can't I just come back and be Doug? But anyway, I had to fight for it, and I got it. And it was for that Odd Man Out episode where, you know, Kevin and Paul kind of break up and find a new friend.
Right.
And I managed to stay. I think that was the writer, Todd Langen. He who also wrote the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and a couple other things. I think he made that character into something that had legs.
Yeah.
You know, I had maybe purpose for the future. So
that's awesome.
The next 3 years, I was pretty busy.
I mean, I really enjoyed that character a lot, and I thought it added, like you said. I mean, you had you know, Fred Savage with the Paul Pfeiffer characters, the best friends, of course, but you needed some other friends in there that were.
Yeah. I mean, I had other friends. I had a couple friends that were my close friends.
Sure.
And then I had, you know, the friends on the side that were kind of fun in their own way and very expendable, like Doug Porter.
That's definitely how Kevin looked at him, I guess, at times.
Totally. That was a really fun experience.
Yeah.
Really fun experience.
Yeah, great show. And your kids, do you ever show that to your kids? And
oh yeah, no, they don't care. Yeah, they don't care. My daughters are 5 and 11, and they just don't care. And I think I love that. You know, part of me loves that. Part of me is like, hey girls, hey, look what's on TV right now.
Uh-huh.
You guys want to watch this? And they're like, no.
Oh,
No,
man.
put on Netflix. There's Powerpuff Girls or something.
Wow.
Or, Dad, you probably have this on DVD anyway. Don't worry about it. Doesn't mean anything. I didn't raise them in that environment where, I was surrounded by the industry,
Yeah. So they have no...
I've been out of that for a while, so they don't have any... they don't care. They think it's kind of cool, but they're really not that interested. And that's okay.
Yeah, sure. If you're ever flipping through the channel, I'm sure you see yourself pop up every now and again. In fact, the other night I was flipping through Nick at Night, saw you on Full House.
Oh, yeah. my finest work. No, but that's cool. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It breaks up the monotony of the day.
Right.
When you flip through the channels and you see something that you did so many years ago and you're like, well, that's kind of cool.